Greetings, good life. I'd like to resume reading for you now my Benevolent Magic blog. This one was posted originally on Monday, December 5th of 2005, and it's called Wisdom, Feeling It and Offering It with Benevolence. In these times, you have the opportunity to experience profound wisdom. Many of you seek this, and I do respect that. However, I feel that in order to welcome that wisdom, it would be helpful if you could prime the pump, so to speak. You've all heard that term, perhaps. It just means really to get something ready to accept it. So what I'm going to suggest is for you to imagine what it would be like to be wise. I don't mean having great mental capacities, but rather there are certain feelings physically that go with being wise. One might expect that one of them is certainty, but that's not true. With wisdom, there is a degree of certainty, but mostly what you find is the physical feeling of being calm. This does not mean that one is always calm, but in moments of wisdom where one speaks either with inspiration or with knowledge or both, one often feels calm and even self-assured. So I'm going to suggest that you practice as an actor might, feeling calm as best as you can imagine it. Then after that, practice feeling self-assured as best as you can imagine it. This is a calm and self-assurance that does not come from any performance, but it will prepare your physical body to have the self-confidence that allows you not only to welcome your own wisdom, but to feel safe when sharing that wisdom with others. Remember, you don't tell people your wisdom. You notice when it is welcome. Learn to look for an opening in the conversation, a moment when there is a gap. Perhaps a friend or a family member has stated a problem, and if you have something that you have used to solve that problem, this is what I recommend that you say. I don't recommend that you say, you know what you could do? You might try this, or you might try that. I'd recommend you say this exactly. It works and does not offend. I'd recommend you say, I recall having that situation come up, or I remember experiencing that too, and this is what I did to resolve it. And even though it's come up again, I still use this to resolve it, and it works for me. Then go on to describe what you used for you in those terms, trying to avoid at all times to tell the person what they can do for themselves. When you speak of your wisdom, try to make it personal. In this case, you will be able to speak of something that you know works for you, even though it may not work for them at all. You will be speaking your personal wisdom, and you will be speaking it in a way that won't be unwelcome. The person is less likely to feel like you're telling them what to do. You know how that feels. It doesn't feel good. But if they're talking about how they resolved it for themselves, you are offering them the option to try that for themselves, or to have hope that since you solved it for yourself, or were inspired to solve it, and it worked, and it continues to work, that they can continue to search, because if one person solved it, perhaps another will be able to. And to that end, I'd like to recommend that you say the following benevolent magic. I recommend you say, I request that when I have the opportunity to share my wisdom, that I be able to do so in the most benevolent way, and that those moments of sharing wisdom be received benevolently and result in the most benevolent outcome. Now, the reason we say benevolent so much is we want to make it clear for ourselves how we want to have the experience and how we'd like it to be received. So anybody that wants to do extra credit homework, go ahead and look up the word benevolent. I know most of you have probably already done that, but it is an interesting thing how often we desire these characteristics in our lives. And if you want more benevolence in your life, then I'm going to recommend that you say the following living prayer. I am asking that my life be filled with benevolence at every opportunity, and that I have the opportunity to pass on benevolence to others when the moment may occur, and that my resource of benevolence always remain full and open to receiving and giving when needed. Good life to you all, and good night.